No government has been able to do for people what people have been able to do for themselves when they have that opportunity.
The American society as a whole can never achieve the outer reaches of its potential so long as it tolerates the inner cities of despair. The American dream is not to make everyone level with everyone else, but to create the opportunity for all people to reach as high as their God-given potential allows.
Jack was a star from the day he walked into the house.
I've always thought that it does go back to Jack working as a football player and a quarterback who had to inspire his teammates. And there was a sense of inspiring us.
There are no limits to our future as long as we don't limit our people.
Jack's public career began in professional football, carried him to the U.S. House of Representatives, through presidential primaries, and eventually to the Republican ticket as Bob Dole's vice presidential running mate in 1996. This was probably the most influential person of his time who was not president.
I'll tell you, in 1961, we were going to Dallas to play with the Chargers, and we weren't allowed in the Hilton in Dallas, and the owner of the team owned the hotel. So they said, okay, the white guys can stay at the Hilton, but the black guys, you have to go to Grand Prairie. And Jack Kemp went to Sid Gilman and said, this is not acceptable. Either we stay as a team or we don't play. And Jack Kemp was the guy that actually did it. We all ended up in the crappiest hotel in Grand Prairie, Texas, because of Kemp.
Over the years, we did a lot of events together on tax reform. And it kind of gave a very nice picture to have these two guys up there, one a football player, one a basketball player, one a Democrat, one a Republican, and they were both concerned about the same thing, and if there were any disagreements, which there were rarely in this context, they were openly expressed, but they were both headed in the right direction. People would look at this and they'd say, you know, that's the way it should be.
Kemp Republicans exist, and they are people that believe we got to have something to say to everybody. That we can't be a 51% majority nation, that the Republican Party has to be able to have a message for African Americans and Hispanics and union members and inner city folks. And maybe we don't get it all right, maybe not every policy is perfect, but that if we are not constantly striving to have a message to communicate to everybody, we're failing.
We're going to ask for the support of every single American. Our appeal of boundless opportunity crosses every barrier of geography, race, and belief in America. We're not going to leave anybody out of this opportunity society. We may not get every vote, but we'll speak to every heart. In word and action, we will represent the entire American family. That's what we must be all about.